You know, there comes a time with every long-standing brand where they revitalize everything. And I do mean everything when it comes to Viper. Yes, the one brand where no one dares come close. Well, I'll tell you what, they have done it with a total relaunch of brand new product, imaging, and even displays. And we're going to get right into it with our guest today, Chris Libardi from Viper. Hey, this is CMA Connected, brought to you by SiriusXM, all about Viper. And it starts now. What's going on, guys, and welcome to another CMA Connected, brought to you by SiriusXM. I'm your host, Ben Wu, and you are tuned in to CMA Networks, where we talk mobile electronics day in and day out. We are talking about Viper, one of the legends in the game, remote start, security, telematics, you name it. But if you haven't heard, man, has there been a lot of energy coming out from this camp, and I'm excited today to dig right in with none other than our good friend, Chris Libardi. Chris, what are we going to be covering on today's show?
Hey, Ben. Yes, thank you so much for having me. Love your show. Love this platform. Always happy to join. We have a lot of new changes, as you mentioned, in the Viper line across all of our product lines, really. But super excited to talk about some of the new things like our new digital RF kits that we're offering, some new changes in the Avital product line, the new T harnesses that we have coming, and an all new interface module as well.
So much new gear to cover, but first, an opportunity for our good partner, SiriusXM, to remind you why it's always an excellent add on sale. And when we come back, we're going to get into all the new stuff coming to you from Viper. We'll see you after the break.
Hey, Paul here with SiriusXM, and I'd like to talk to you about attachment selling and why the SiriusXM product is one of the best things to add, especially since we don't trade dollars with any other category. I could go through all of this, but let's hear what some of our dealers have to say.
It's an easy add-on that takes, 10, 15 minutes if we're running an antenna, 1 minute if we've got an adapter to plug it into the factory SiriusXM antenna, and it's extra money. So, no brainer.
I present it to every customer because a lot of customers don't know what all they can do with Sirius. They don't know what all content they could have. It just makes too much sense not to sell it.
It creates a different customer loyalty and customer security when you explain to them why it's a better experience. Just gets them back in the door. And then the next car, they're already asking for it again. So it just keeps selling itself. It makes more sense.
Well, there you have it. You heard from our dealers. Just remember some of the best practices. Make sure you have one on display so you can demo it. Make sure you're taking advantage of our rewards program, because if you're not taking advantage of that, you're leaving even more money on the table. Make sure you got our POP up on display. And other than that, just make sure you're recommending it.
All right, and we're back. Thanks for joining us, Chris. Man, I wasn't exaggerating when I said there is a lot of energy coming out from Viper. I know you've been in the business for quite some time, even at Viper for quite many years. Have you ever seen this much new stuff at one time?
Yeah, no, it's been crazy. We have literally taken a look at every single piece in the entire Viper lineup, regardless of what section of the lineup, and we have tackled it and said, hey, what works? What can we do better? And that's where we've gone, and we have a new SKU for basically every single thing in our assortment.
Well, I'll tell you what, for me, the hints were there when I first seen your booth. I don't remember if that was at I think it was, no, it was at SEMA last year. I think you guys debuted a brand new booth. And with that came brand new displays, new like panels and the look and the feel. So what's happened since then? You were about a year since then. Like what's happened since then?
Yeah, so at that point, we were really at the point where we said, hey, here's all the things that we're working on. Here's all the things that we want to do and that are in development. And we've really come a long way since then. A lot of our products are already shipping, with the exception of one final SKU. But everything that we showed last year at SEMA, again, with the exception of that one, is already out there, ready to order in stores for our dealers to use.
All right. So absolutely some evolution has happened, which is pretty cool. Okay, so let's get into the goodies because that's why y'all tune in. Four different products to talk about today, Chris. We're going to start with this one's pretty exciting. It's an RF kit because it's all about distance. It's all about the whole user experience. The model name, guys, is the D9957VHD, but I'm going to let Chris tell you all about it.
Yeah, so this is a really exciting SKU in our lineup, something we're super proud of. We spent a lot of time developing this piece. It is not released yet. It is coming very, very soon, this month, actually. The reason why we're so proud of this is because we really didn't want to spare any expense at making sure this is exactly what we intended for the industry, and to make sure this fits a very specific category that may not be needed in every store, but certainly every customer is going to want it that sees it. So this is a long range, heavy duty digital RF kit. This remote that comes in at the primary two-way color LCD, it's very, very similar to the 7957V that's already shipping, that two-way color LCD remote, but this has some extra benefits. First and foremost, it's a heavy-duty remote. This thing is water, drop, all that. Can take a lot of abuse, which we're very, very proud of. But beyond that, it offers 3-mile range. And this is not an advertised 3-mile range. This is something that we've poured our heart and souls into making sure if we're going to sell this remote as a 3-mile product, it really reaches that. And it's a great, great product. We're so excited for people to have that in their hands. It also comes with a two-way 5-button LED remote as the companion remote. So first time we're really putting a companion two-way remote in a bundle. And then it also comes with an full RGB antenna that goes in the car that uses all different colors and flash patterns to communicate to the installer and to the consumer what's happening in that vehicle. And we know everyone's going to love it.
Well, Chris, you spoke about it. Do you happen to have one there that we can see what it looks like?
Yeah, I sure do. So here's the HD remote. A little bit different than the one you've probably seen in store. And then here is the antenna that comes in it as well. Oops, let's get on camera. Here's the antenna that comes with it as well. As you can see, there's no LEDs to be seen from the outside of the case. The full light bar that wraps around is on the inside of the case, as are the snake eye LEDs on the inside. So when the antenna is off, it really looks like a clean, sleek module, like an OEM module would. But then when the lights come on, that's a whole nother story.
Very, very cool. First of all, congratulations. It looks really slick, really modern. You know what I mean? Especially when it comes to an add-on kind of premium piece like that. What about applications? What is it compatible with?
So this is available in a digital RF kit, which means it's compatible with our digital systems. So DS3, DS4 platforms.
All right, very, very cool. So that, guys, is the new D9957 VHD digital RF kit. Moving on to our next item here, I see we're talking about a new interface module this time, codenamed BP1. What can you tell us about the BP1?
So this is very interesting. So when we talk about interface modules, I think most people instantly jump to something like a DB3, where it's a standalone interface module. This is a little bit different. As you can see here, very simple. There's 2 plugs on it, very simple interface here. And why this is so unique is that we're utilizing this a little bit differently than we would a normal interface module. So if you take a DB3 or similar module, we're taking that, we're programming it with a very specific firmware, tying it into the vehicle's CAN bus or immobilizer circuits, and then effectively, lack of better terms, tricking the vehicle into thinking that there's a authorized start happening. And that's what we use a traditional style bypass for. When we talk about an alternate method, a lot of people would revert to a key wrap or key in a box, where you're physically asking the consumer, hey, we need you to give up a key, but we're going to take that key and we're going to put it in with our remote start, so that when we do remote start, we're getting actual OE authorized key information to do that access and do that start. The BP1 is so special because we're really taking the best of both worlds. And that's what we're doing with the BP1. It's programming to the vehicle as an authorized key to that vehicle and gets you all those benefits, but without that consumer having to give up that expensive factory key.
All right. So the only question I have for you here, Chris, I understand what it does. Thank you for explaining. We see what it looks like. But can you give some information or shed some light on how to program it? Do we need a tool? How does that work?
Yeah, so this is a little bit different. So when you're flashing, and I should say this is compatible again with our digital systems, when you're flashing a DS3 or DS4, at the very end of that flash, it's going to give you an option to plug in the BP1, and it's going to do a quick little update there. But more importantly, you need to use this tool, the DK Prog, in the vehicle, and that's what you're going to use to program the BP1 to the vehicle. The best part about that is once you program it to the vehicle, you're really not making any wired connections at that point. It simply plugs directly into the DS4, no wires going to the vehicle, and broadcasts that information to the vehicle's antenna for a very seamless integration.
Wireless, no fuss, no mess, and they can't blame us that the doors don't lock. right?
There you go.
You know what I'm talking about. All right. All right. Let's head over to product number 3. We're going to switch gears. We've been talking a lot of Viper. Let's not forget about Avital, also relaunched, rebranded, new product. In fact, very big announcement from a new product standpoint. And I know you're excited to talk about. So tell us what's going on with Avital.
Yeah, so Avital has gone through a major transformation with the new product line. Traditionally, the Avital product line has really been kind of synonymous with an entry-level product line where we offered some more basic SKUs at a certain price point for that market. With the slimming down of some of our other product lines and Viper really elevating to where it is now, we realized we really needed to fill a gap of we have some customers there that aren't necessarily Viper dealers, but still want some industry-leading products. So what we did was we went through that whole Viper lineup, everything again, all the way down keyless entry, security, remote start, analog kits, the full kits, then also our digital RF kits. And we really made sure that we were elevating those SKUs. Previously, when we talk about our digital RF SKUs, so these add-on RF kits for our digital platform, we only previously had 2, and it was a fairly basic 1-button RF kit and then a 4-button one-way RF kit. In the new product line, we've added not only replacements for those with upgraded transmitters and antennas, but also we've added on new 5-button LED two-way remotes, LCD remotes, and they're just phenomenal products. We're super happy to have those, really, again, elevating that Avital product line for those dealers.
You know, I always had a soft spot for Avital. I installed a lot back in the day, and it's really cool to see all this new energy, being poured into Avital. But Chris, you can't come on CMA and talk about it and at least show us what it looks like. Do you have some of the products to show?
Sure. Yeah. So this is going to be one of the new Avital remotes here. This is our 5-button remote, very new, sleek design. Obviously, a lot different than its predecessor here. We also have, our 1-button remotes. Again, following that same stylized design. And then, of course, we can't forget the new
that's
LCD,
what I was looking for. There you
the
go.
new 1-mile LCD remote that we now have available as well.
So very cool. Some new energy, some new products, some new looks, some new, just it's always great to have conversation pieces when customers come to your store, whether it's the first time you're talking to them or maybe it's a repeat customer coming in for another system. Hey, I got something new to show you, which is always good.
Absolutely.
All right. Our last item might not be the coolest from a show and tell standpoint, but incredibly important for installers and applications, and more importantly, sales, because we're talking about applications. More specifically, we've got 9 new T-harness applications. Chris, take it away. I know this is a big part of the R&D and getting these type of things out for our installers.
Yeah, we know our installers and our dealers love T-harness coverage, right? We've evolved into a world where analog wire-for-wire installs, they're just not as efficient as they used to be. T-harness solutions are really where the industry is going, and we want to make sure that we stay the leader in that space. We have, in the past few years, tried to, stay on par with what we delivered based off of new applications coming out. This year, we've put a ton of effort into making sure, hey, how do we really, again, elevate this product line and make sure that we have as many solutions as we possibly can. And you hit the nail on the head. We have 9 new T-harnesses coming out in the next, let's say, several months. We're super excited. The first on that list, the THAUN1, which was an Audi Smart Key harness, is already released and shipping. That was the number 1 on the list. And as we go down, we have, again, 8 more harnesses to talk about. So we're also working on a THGMN6, which is going to be a new GM harness, which is really cool because this harness in particular is going to work with either a key wrap solution for those newer GM vehicles, but it's also going to be compatible plug and play with the new BP1. So that's a really neat, interesting harness. It's going to be the first of its kind. We're also going to be releasing a THHYN7, which is a new Hyundai solution, THHON12 for Honda, THMAN2 for Mazda, and then THTON12, 13, and 14, which are Toyota coverage harnesses, and THMBS1, which is a Mercedes Freightliner Sprinter harness as well. So there you have it. those are all the really exciting things we're working on right now. And of course, there's so much more. We can't cover everything. So in addition to those harnesses with over 150 vehicles worth of coverage on them, new interface, new RF kits, new Avital line. For more information on all of those, of course, see the respective website, viper.com, avital.com. And again, thank you so much for having us. We love spending time with you here. Thanks a lot, Ben.
And that was Viper's Chris Libardi joining us for this session of Connected, spilling the beans on all these new great products, whether it's from Viper or Avital, RF kits, interface modules, you name it. Again, I want to remind you, like Chris said there, so much information to digest. Head on over to the website at viper.com. Now, my takeaway, man, Viper, you know, it's been there from the beginning. All of us have installed Viper at some point in our careers, myself included. But to see the new energy that's being put in to the redesign, thinking about what vehicles need, what tools that dealers need. I mean, we didn't even get into the new display programs and all these great incentives to become a Viper dealer right now. But at the end of the day, it is obvious that this has been brewing for some time, and to see it come to fruition is amazing. Guys, get out there, get onto the Viper website, talk to your Viper rep, get a hold of them and find out all these new offerings that they have, because energy is what we need in our business. It's exciting. It gets us invigorated. It makes our customers excited. And that's what we want at the end of the day. That's it for this CMA Connected, brought to you by SiriusXM. I'm your host, Ben Wu. Until next time, we connect.